they have to learn to stay away from Bubba. Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they're white-collar guys, they're CEOs, they're traders, so they've never been to prison. They don't really know anything about prison. It's not part of their world. So with this big increase in insider trading prosecutions and other white-collar crime, mortgage fraud, a lot of them really need to kind of know before they go in, and they have a little bit of money to spend, probably because they are from Wall Street. So they hire somebody who's been there before to tell them, okay, how do you navigate Bubba?
Isn't this the white collar way, right? You hire someone to teach you how to go to prison. You get a consultant to teach you how to go to prison. Now, when we mention Bubba, I mean, there's some very specific things that these guys learn about when they go to prison, what they should and should not do, things about sitting on other people's bunks, meal times. Walk us through that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it depends on exactly what prison you're going to. So with a lot of the white-collar guys, they're going to the prison camps, which are the most minimum security. So they have the least to worry about. But in low-security prisons, some of them have rougher guys. So it really depends. But basically, some rules of thumb are, you can't pretend you're still the CEO of a company when you go to prison. You can't treat the correctional officers like they're your staff. You have to be polite. You have to, so you don't reach across the table when you go to the chow hall.
Because what happens?
Well, somebody might, as you said earlier, stick a fork in your arm. You have to, you can't. You have to say, excuse me. If you want the salt and pepper, please pass the salt and pepper. It's ironically in prison you don't steal because if you steal from other prisoners, they'll get pretty mad. You don't sit on their bed, that you're invading their space. So everything is very kind of rigid, and people look out for each other. But somebody who thinks they're better than anybody else is going to get into serious trouble.
Well, hopefully these white-collar criminals have learned not to steal just at this point by the fact that they are going to prison. They've probably already stolen enough, I would imagine. The question I have is sometimes when you hear people about cautioning people about going to prison, some people say you got to come out swinging, right? You want to set the tone right now. You can't. You're not taking me down, in the cafeteria or in the showers or so forth. But you say that's not it. That they should lay low. If someone comes out and they should tuck into like a little ball. Is that right?
Absolutely. That's what the experts say, is you really need to kind of fade into the woodwork and stay out, because not only could you get totally beaten up, but you could also get in trouble with the prison. Now, there is actually a divide in the prison consulting industry, because there are some former inmates who are now like personal trainers, right, and they teach about self-defense, and they are teaching these white-collar guys how to fight. These really thin kind of trader guys, they don't know how to fight. So, and then there are these other group that say, well, that's ridiculous. You don't need to fight in prison at all. If you stay, keep to yourself, you won't get in trouble. So it's actually a bone of contention as the industry gets bigger. People are kind of arguing over like what is kind of the right advice to give. Yeah, and they all kind of they denigrate each other. Their competitors, they say they don't know what they're talking about, and some say you don't need to be an inmate to teach somebody how to get along in prison. And other ones say only the inmates know the real way.